Fitbit's Google login transition has finally started. You still have 2 years before the Google account migration becomes mandatory. Fitbit has started allowing users to log into their Google accounts beginning from next week as a part of a consultation to Fitbit by 2025. Google in April said that account consolidation will take place in summer. Droid Life reports that Google logins will be an option starting from June 6th. Once you migrate your account, you'll be able to manage your Fitbit data from the Google Privacy Center. It's important to note Google will not force you to use a Google account for the next 2 years at least. Once 2025 come in summer, you will not be able to use a Fitbit device or access your data without using a Google account. Moreover, you can make the switch once the option goes live next week, since some of the Fitbit features cannot be accessed without a Google account. In addition, Google is pitching the new login requirement as more convenient, since users will only need to use one password for both Fitbit and Google account. Google account logins will be optional only for existing users. If you don't have a Fitbit account, you will have to make a Google account while configuring a new Fitbit device. Amazon had launched a phone. I think people will know about the Fire phone. I never got a chance to use it. I've seen it in few people's hands in Dubai. I don't know why they're still using it. Very weird phone with a lot of cameras on the front to track your eye and face. And now it seems Amazon is getting back into the... It is a report from Bloomberg saying that Amazon may be in talks to offer phone service for users. This report is built on pretty shaky grounds, but Bloomberg able to gather information from people familiar with the matter. Amazon spokesperson Bardley has said that we are already exploring adding even more benefits for Prime members, but does not mean to add wireless at this time. Amazon is not the only company denying it. This report states that Amazon has been talks with Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile and even Dish about setting up wireless plans for the users. All the four companies also denied the reports. According to that, Amazon may possibly offer wireless phone service to Amazon Prime users. This could be a free expansion to the plan or an additional $10. Since the report saying that Amazon is only on talks with this company, there's nothing solid on this. A major leak has come out about the Tensor G3 chipset, and people can be happy finally about the upcoming Google chipset. As you know, Google had entered the chipset market 2 years ago with the Tensor G1 chipset. They had a relationship with Samsung, so Samsung engineering department had provided them the Exynos chipset, and Google just did the necessary changes so that they can boost the AI capability of the chip. Though they perform brilliantly compared to the other chips in the market, but in terms of GPU and CPU it got very hot. The Tensor G2 did not address the issues because it was still hotter, and it used to have some issues with lags and all compared to other processors. And the funny part is Samsung didn't launch the equivalent processor for that, and now they are coming out with the G3. It is said to be built by Samsung again this time, but now it seems compared to the G1 and G2 which used the old cores, now they are using the latest core for G3. The entire CPU block has been re-architectured to use 2022's ARM v9 cores. The core layout has been modified, gone in the unusual 4+2+2. It seems Google has put even more weirder. It'll have 9 CPU cores, that is 4 little Cortex A510s, 4 Cortex A715 and a single core X3. They'll be raising the performance compared to the other generations, and it should bring it somewhere very close to the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 chipset. But the major issue is that by that time Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 will be out, where they will be using the newly announced ARM version 9.2 cores. But it's very good to see that Google is doing that. So with doing this, they'll get new security technologies. Pixel 8 will feature ARM's memory tagging extensions, which will prevent some memory based attacks. Other phones already support it in hardware, but it's not enabled in Android. The Pixel 8 bootloader looks to be first to implement this feature. The headline changes to switch to 64-bit only code execution. While Tensor G2 had dropped support for legacy 32-bit app, they retain 32-bit library on board. This is changing with the Pixel 8. The chipset will ship with only 64 bits binaries, but with the Cortex A510 cores and configured with ARC32 support is unclear. And there will be ray tracing on board with the GPU that is coming up. So it's going to be a massive upgrade. All the reviewers who used to say don't go for performance or gaming, for the first time you can expect of gaming performance that will be very similar to Snapdragon chipsets. And the graphics has been the focus of Google Tensor's chipset, as you know. Now they will be very close to Snapdragon 8 Gen 2. Maybe they should bring ahead the phone launches to June or July from next year onwards, so that they can take care of The competition of Snapdragon, but this year Snapdragon is launching the chipset in October and the first phone should come in November. There is only 1 month time where Google will maintain parity with Android phones. But it's okay, maybe you can see an important update that Google might bring their phones launches ahead. So Razr 40 and 40 Razr Ultra was unveiled on June 1st. It's going to be launched in India very soon. It was announced on Twitter. They teased the debut of these two phones in largest market. Motorola is expected to launch both the phones, but the promo page has been put up as Moto Razr 40 family, which suggests that their launch is very soon. The Motorola Razr 40 Ultra is powered by the last generation Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 SoC. It packs a 3800 mAh battery. It has a 6.9-inch primary LTPO AMOLED screen that is full HD resolution, but it comes with 165Hz refresh rate, which is the highest in any flip phone. And you get a 3.6 cover screen, which is also AMOLED. It has a 144Hz refresh rate and it has a resolution of 1066 into 1056 pixels. The Razr 40 Ultra has two main cameras on the back, which is a 12 megapixel f1.5 OIS camera and a 13 megapixel ultra-wide camera that gives you macro capabilities. And this should be the first flip phone that can take macro photos. And it has 132 megapixel selfie camera centered in the middle. The Moto Razr 40 is a Snapdragon 7 Gen 1 chipset. It packs a large 4200 mAh battery because it doesn't have a screen in the front. The folding mechanism and resolution is the same, but the refresh rate is down to 144Hz. The cover screen is reduced to 1.5 inch and the resolution is 368 into 194. It's a 60Hz panel. There you can just see the dates and maybe a few widgets and see a call coming. It looks very similar to the Samsung Z Flip 4 screen. The Samsung is a little bit bigger. The pricing of both the phones have not been announced for India, though the pricing of the 40 Ultra Razr has been kept pegged at around $1,000 in the US. Apple has released a stat that puts Android to shame. They have released a stat that iOS 16 is running around 81% of all iPhones. Android has also raised their data, in which they are showing that Android 13, which is the current latest public release, it is running on less than 15% of Android phones. Android 11 is the largest version. It's running on 23.1% of the devices. Then 2019 Android 10 is on 17.8% of the devices. Android 12 is on third place with 16.3%, and then it comes Android 13. It's kind of strange. Android still uses desert name for the older Android. Android 9 from 2018 is still running on 11.9% of Android devices. Android 8 is running on 8.3% of devices. Android 7 and Android 6 are running on 3 and 2.3% of the devices. And Android Lollipop, which was launched in 2014 or Android 5, is still running on 1.8% of the devices, and 0.5% of the devices uses Android KitKat, that is Android 4.4, which was announced in 2013. This actually puts it to shame. It's kind of funny when Apple launched their stats report today, Google's report has been leaked out. So Apple has 81% using the latest Apple iOS version, though it is the most buggiest version of Apple. No, too many bugs in it, and so Apple 17 is expected to fix the bugs, but Google has to do something about it. They should somehow end all support for all the Android version that is Android 9 and below, and concentrating on pushing Android 14 ASAP. Blackview, a Chinese brand, has launched a new tablet, Tab 11 Wi-Fi, for a very good price of $150. There is certain thing that is not good in the tablet specs wise, but it's good for people who just want a tablet for carrying around to do minor stuff. And this is some of the specs of the tablet. It comes with a 10.36 inch 2.4K resolution screen, aluminium body weighing 442 grams, 7.6 millimeter thinness. It comes in two colors, lagoon green and space gray color. It has dual speakers. It comes with a 16 megapixel camera on the back and front. With the back sensors, both are Samsung sensors. It comes with 8380 mAh battery with 18 watt of charging, which they claim to be fast. They claim this will give you 20 hours of daily use. If you hear music, it will be 21.5 hours. If you watch video, it will be 5.2 hours. Website viewing is around 6 hours. It has a pretty good standing time, of which they claim is 1.139 hours. You get beauty mode, HDR mode, portrait mode, panorama mode, night mode on the camera, and you also get 1080p video recording. The main problem with this phone, it comes with Wi-Fi 5.0 only and is running Android 12. So there will be no update for this phone. It claims to have up to 14 GB of RAM, that is 6 GB expansion without any cost. It has 256 GB ROM, and you can expand storage up to 1 terabyte. It comes with stylus also with this price. You can attach a keyboard and mouse and use it as a Windows PC, so you can get similar experience. This price is on till June 18th, and the original price will be $374. At that, it is not at all worth it, but for $149.99 it is worth it. You are getting a stylish as well, but don't expect any Android update, and it is not a Google backed device, so you cannot expect fast performance or good security. It's a brand known as Infinix. It launches phones, cheap phones, though they're trying to launch expensive phones now. They've launched a new phone, Note 30, and it's going to be the first phone with integrated ChatGPT coming in. Infinix is known for their bloated OS. They have the most bloated OS of any Android OEMs, and now with ChatGPT coming pre-built, it's going to be even more bloated. Let me see some of the specs of this. Like I said, it is the first phone to get ChatGPT. It runs on XOS. It's based on Android. It has many unique features. It comes with smart network switching, X-Clone. Also, it has own 4x voice assistant. The voice assistant for Infinix ChatGPT, you can see in the video. I'll attach the video. It's a special avatar. The user can push and hold the mic button to start chatting. It is funny that they are actually giving ChatGPT when Google already has Google Bard and Google Assistant pre-built. About Infinix, it's the #1 brand of Africa. It stands out among Africa. It beats the Xiaomi, Apple in sales over there. It is a Chinese firm known as Transition. They have Techno, Itel, Infinix, and they also bought the name HTC. Though they did not launch an HTC based phone. This brand has launched the world's first 260-watt fast wired charging as well as 110 wireless fast charging phone. Despite this, they have only entry level phones compared to the other Chinese manufacturers, but they keep launching some weird stuff to get famous, and one of this is the integrated ChatGPT phone. Google Pixel Watch 2 is coming out very soon with the Google 8 series of phones, and this time people are excited for the watch because it's supposed to get Snapdragon W5 Gen 1 chipset, so they're ditching Exynos. But there is now new complaints coming about the Google Pixel Watch. You can just see the report. People are reporting that some of the back of the are randomly falling off. Some of the users share the photos of the phenomena. This situation is not favorable for Google because it's a first generation watch, and if this keeps occurring, so people have doubt on the quality. On the note of the design, Google Pixel Watch has a reliability issue. On the last few months, multiple users have reported that they're randomly pop opening the back of the device when they wear it normally. The good news is that Google has offered replacement for most of them. After all, the issue is it falls on the warranty period of the Pixel Watch, but the concerning aspect is the back shell is coming out. It can undermine the watch's water resistance, and in case of any water damage, you will not get a replacement for that. But it's good that people are getting a replacement for it and Google's trying to control it, but it's kind of weird. The back just randomly popping out, and there's not one case, there are so many cases. And iFixit Taron had given a clear picture about Google Pixel Watch construction. The team had noted that the rear gasket is held in place by a novel liquid gasket that I've never seen before. To be exact, the report says that the rear glass appears to be held in some kind of liquid gasket that seals tightly but comes open clean. The rear of the Google Pixel Watch is easy to open, and the adhesive that Google uses does not leave any residue, which makes replacement very easy. But it seems the adhesive came out very quickly. Google has acknowledged the issue, and they have said we are working on fixing it. One news that is coming out is very weird. I thought it was dead already, but now since Microsoft has officially announced that Cortana is going to die, it was Microsoft Digital Assistant. It did not keep up with the likes of Amazon, Alexa, Google Assistant, and Siri. Now, developer says that Cortana will be leaving Windows operating system. It was a useful tool that helped us to navigate Microsoft products, but it could not have the staying power. Over the last couple of years, we have seen Cortana sink. So Microsoft is looking to move forward and implement a GT4 powered Copilot in its products. Microsoft has made a huge push into AI with ChatGPT beginning the engine. The company introduced Windows Copilot last week, and we can expect the replacement of Cortana. Microsoft Aaron told XDA developers that Copilot was not going to be a replacement for Cortana. He seems to be pretty sturdy in his statement, which makes it funnier because a support document from the company states that Cortana on PC will lose its support later on this year. Microsoft didn't give the exact date, but it said late 2023. So it will be removed from both Windows 10 and Windows 11. The voice assistant is not quite baked into the operating system. It is like a standalone app now, so not many people knows about it anymore. But I, as a user, I liked using it. It was fun to use it once in a while, and the voice was a little bit better than Siri. but removing it doesn't mean that Cortana is completely going. It'll still be available in Outlook mobile, Teams display, Teams mobile and Teams room, but maybe it'll be removed from there too soon. One thing about Twitter and its policies is very weird. How the number of people that Elon Musk fired is also staggering, and the number of people quitting is also very funny. So recently, Arvind, the Twitter head of safety and content moderation, has resigned from a position. News of the resignation hit the internet yesterday and is raising some dust among netizens. Her time did not last even a year. She took over from the previous occupant in November last year. Now, if she exits the company, someone else will have to fill up the role, and details are not available. The reason for her departure is unknown, but she holds back from sharing within the two sources of the company. These sources both confirm Twitter is not providing any information on Ila's exit, but it is very similar to Ila's exit and UL, the previous occupant of the position. Netizen is trying to connect the dot between Ila's resignation and a recent issue that questions Twitter's freedom of speech claims. According to Elon Musk, one of the main objectives of purchasing Twitter was to grant users freedom of speech. This seems very ideal because all of Twitter users have an opinion on what to be heard. Despite the opposition Elon got from certain groups, there were still a few people that gave it support and were confident in Elon's dream. One such person was UL, the then head of safety and content moderation, but after the purchase, he tendered his resignation, saying that his optimism faded. The faded optimism is a result of Elon's style of doing things and his desire to take action on his own. After taking over the safety and content moderation team, Hila Irvin is firmly on Elon's side, but in less than 1 year since taking over the position, she is already stepping down. So now it seems they are linking her resignation to the issue involving the folks of the Daily Wire and Twitter.